So today I'm going to be doing my October book haul. I think I got 20 books today, and I got another book outlet order, but for some reason they didn't put it in a book outlet box. So, but let's get into it. So I'm gonna save my book outlet order for the very end, and that'll be like my grand finale, I guess. But the first two books that I got at McKay's. I got most of these at McKay's. I think I bought one brand new. And these books are Truth or Die and Second Chance. Now, Truth or Die is about this guy that he gets an earth-shattering call that his girlfriend has been brutally murdered in a mugging, but he suspects foul play because she is a journalist and he believes that she has uncovered some secrets that somebody didn't want her knowing. So he has to either find the truth or they'll come after him too. So sounds super thrilling. It's James Patterson. I mean, he doesn't write like the best books, but they're good to just sit down and like read in a day or two because they're quick and easy, and I'll probably love it. And then the next one is Second Chance, which I still have the price sticker on. It was $1.50, if you all were wondering. This is the next book in the Women's Murder Club series that he wrote. This picks up where it left off with Lindsay and her friends who have decided to create a club where they all solve murders together. Lindsay is an inspector, one's an assistant DA, one's a medical examiner, and then the last one, who becomes their friend in the first book, she is a reporter. So it's super interesting, and I love reading about a group of gal pals that are fighting crime together. This next book is not one that I thought I would ever pick up, but I saw it for cheap at McKay's, so I figured why not? I would try it, and that is Heresy by B.A. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong author. S.J. Paris. I'm so sorry. This is about a guy that his first name is Giordano. My mom took Italian, so I'm pretty sure she'll be able to tell me if I said that incorrectly. Giordano, and he is a monk, a poet, and a writer, but he is being persecuted because he believes that the universe is infinite and that the earth revolves around the sun, but he might also be an occult philosopher. So this is pretty much just his story, and it's set in the 16th century, so I'm pretty interested to see what this is like, how this works out, because I haven't read a book like this ever, and there's plenty more in the series apparently, so I'm really interested to get into this one. These next three are all a trilogy that I am so excited that I found at McKay's. I usually find one or two books out of this series at McKay's, but I never found all three at the same time, so I knew that was a sign and I had to get them. And that is the Magician's trilogy by Lev Grossman, I think? Yes. And this has been adapted into a TV series, but like, look at those spines. Like, are those not just like the most quirky, beautiful spines? I literally bought these for the spines. I love them. They're so pretty. The Magicians is about a boy named, I'm horrible with names, named Quentin, that in high school he is obsessed with this fantasy world called Fillory, and he's like picked on for being so obsessed with it. But then when he gets to college, he goes to an exclusive New York college for magicians where he figures out that magic is real, but also Fillory is real, which absolutely blows his mind. But Fillory is not as great and fantastic as he thought it was, so there's some dark, evil stuff going on apparently, and he's got to figure out why and how it's happening. And then the next two books in this series are The Magician King and The Magician's Land, and I guess I don't know anything about those because I haven't read the first one, so. But these spines are so pretty, so I'm so excited to have them finally. Okay, so the next one is the only one that I bought full price, and that is Stephen King, Hearts in Atlantis. I did not realize that this is 5 different tales, but Alan's grandfather told me that this was his absolute favorite Stephen King. So I'm really excited because, as you all know, I have recently gotten into Stephen King because I read Christine and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well. It's centered in the 1960s, and I don't know what each story is about, but I kind of want to surprise myself with that and not read too much into it. So I'm really excited. These next three are also a trilogy that I keep seeing 1 or 2 books of at McKay's, but I've never seen all 3. So again, I figured this was a sign, and this was not on the same day, so I was pretty lucky this month. That is the 5th season, The Obelisk Gate and the Stone Key by N.K. Jemisin, I'm gonna say. But like, look at these covers. They look super cool. They're fantasy. And they're about, there were these 3 tragedies that all happened on the same day, and one of them was that a great city pretty much fell apart. The next one was that this woman came home to her husband who had murdered her son and left with her daughter and kidnapped her. So like, that's really scary. And then the third thing was that there was a big red rift that started going across the middle of the continent and was spraying ash everywhere. So I'm really interested to see kind of what this is about. I'm nervous that it's a big giant trilogy, but I have loved all the fantasy books that I've read in the past years, so I'm really looking forward to getting into more like big fantasy series. This next book is Bring Her Home by David Bell. I have bought a David Bell book before, but I have not read any of his stuff. But this one sounds really interesting, and I've heard a couple people talk about it, not a whole lot, about this man named Bill that a year and a half after his wife is killed, his daughter and her best friend go missing. Once they are located, the friend is dead and his daughter is beaten to the point of almost not being able to be recognized, and as he holds pretty much a vigil over her, just trying to make sure that she's alive and that he's there whenever she does wake up, if she does, the only sound she can make is the word no. Like, how cryptic does that sound? I'm really excited about this one. I've really gotten into thrillers a lot this past year, so this one sounds like a good one. And then the last one out of the books that are not from my book outlet order, this will come as kind of a surprise, except for if you've watched my vlog from I think last week, because I did show it in that one. But you all know that I don't really read contemporaries. Like, I have yet to review one on here, so this is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, and I am so excited. This book is gorgeous. I love this cover. It's so pretty. This is about a plus-size Wiccan named Mila Flores, and I'm so there for this character. I am plus-size, so this is just amazing that we get a character that is plus-size, but she is dealing with a lot of grief because her best friend has committed suicide, and as you do, she kind of suspected foul play because 2 other girls had committed suicide the day before. Sounds fishy. So she tries to raise her best friend from the dead to try and see what was happening, but because all 3 of their deaths are related, all 3 of the girls come back. I'm so excited to read this. It sounds hilarious and like tons of fun, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Plus, Books and Lala like raved about this book, so you know I have to give it a shot. Okay, and now on to the book outlet order. I have 8 books in this box, so it shouldn't take too long. The first one is Let Me Lie by Claire McIntosh, and can I say, this paperback is huge, and I'm there for it. This is about a girl that both of her parents committed suicide, I think like one day after the other, and she starts getting all these like really cryptic messages and letters and stuff, I think like a year after their deaths. But now she has a baby by her, like she has a baby herself and she has to protect her family, but she starts kind of suspecting foul play happened with her parents' death. And she's kind of been suspecting it the whole time, but no one is willing to listen to her. And so when all these things start showing up, people start listening. I'm really excited about this. I tried to read it like a couple months ago, like maybe March, I think, and I wasn't really into it, but I think it was because I was just absolutely exhausted with Alyssa, and now that she's a little bit older, I think I might actually have the mental capacity to finish this one. The next book I had never actually heard of before, but I saw it on BookOutlet and I think it was like $4, so I was like, sure, why not? And it is The Marriage Pact by Michelle Richmond. This is about a couple that is newly married and they're very much in love, but after getting an interesting wedding gift, they are enticed to join the pact, where there are some very simple rules that you have to follow. You must stay married, you must buy each other a meaningful gift every month, and you must go on a you must plan a trip together once per quarter. Never mention the pact to anyone. Now they're having fun and they're enjoying it, but then one of them breaks the rules. And this kind of sounds like Stepford Wives. If you've never seen that, you have to. Like, it's such a good movie. But this reminds me a lot of the Stepford Wives, and I'm very nervous to try it. This next one is Until It Fades by K.A. Tucker, and I had actually not heard about this until I ordered it, and I watched a Books and Lala video because, of course, I have to mention her like 8 times in a video. And apparently this is about a woman that saves a hockey player? I did not know that. But it's about this girl that she is a truck stop waitress and a single mother, and she just wants to keep herself out of the limelight for once. She had her 15 seconds of fame, but then she goes and saves a hockey player who is apparently like a country sweetheart. And so she gets her second 15 seconds of fame and she decides to change her name because she just can't handle it. But then when the hockey player returns and is like, she finds him on her doorstep, then things start happening. So this sounds super cute. I'm really excited about it, but it also sounds kind of interesting, like maybe a little suspicious, so we'll see. Okay, so this next book is a lot thicker than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm kind of nervous, but this is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, and it is about a woman named Ursula Todd that she kind of lives her life over and over again until she gets it right. One day Ursula Todd is born and she dies before she even takes her first breath, but at the very same moment Ursula Todd is being born and she's totally fine. So Ursula's life is kind of in turmoil her entire life. It actually kind of reminds me of the movie Mr. Nobody with Jared Leto. I don't know if you all have watched that movie. Definitely if you are not over the age of 18, do not watch that movie. Like, I am not endorsing it to anybody under the age of 18, but it's a good movie. It's interesting, it makes you think. And this kind of reminds me of that because he lives a lot of different lives all at the same time, and this sounds really similar. Okay, so this next one is Odd Child Out by Gilly McMillan, and this is technically book 2 in the Jim Clemmo series by her, which only has 2 books, so I guess it's a duology. This is actually covering the same DI that was over the case in What She Knew. This is about Noah and Abdi. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong and I'm so sorry. Noah and Abdi are best friends and they share a love of chess and nerdy stuff, and it's awesome. But then one day, Noah is found floating in a local body of water and Abdi refuses to tell anybody what happened. So Jim Clemmo, who is just back from a horrific investigation that went wrong, he is put on this case, and it just brings out a lot of secrets in some of the people that you thought you loved. And then this one is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I have heard so many people talk about this, but all they say is that it is amazing and they rant and rave about it, but they don't actually say anything like about the book. But yeah, I've never actually heard anybody say anything specifically about this book, so I'm kind of going into it blind, which is fine. This is just a giant book. And it was kind of lopsided in the box. Like, I don't know if you all can see. Yeah, you can see that. I'm kind of sad about it, but it'll work out. It's fine. I got it for like $4. It's okay. I'm not that heartbroken. Little heartbroken. So the next to last one is This Mortal Coil by Emily Suveda, I think is how you pronounce it. This is about a girl that she is a really intellectual hacker, but not the kind of hacker that you would think. This society has neurotransmitters in their DNA, I think, that let them change their DNA however they wish. And she is a DNA hacker, which makes sense because her dad is a world-renowned legendary scientist, and they are working on a treatment for the plague that has rendered human life basically non-existent. So this sounds pretty post-apocalyptic, but like thriller-y and science fiction all at the same time. So I'm very interested in this one. You notice the longer I do these videos, the less and less I seem somewhat professional, which is fine. I'm enjoying myself. The last one is The Long Hot Summer by Kathleen McMahon. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. So this is about the McEntees. They are a family that is sick and tired of living normal life, so they carve out little chunks of their lives and their personalities in just to fit into the Irish life. So it sounds kind of like a contemporary as well, which is kind of weird that I'm ending on a contemporary because I never read contemporaries. I have 2 in this video. What is wrong with me? But this sounds like just a cute little book about a family that's just trying to figure out who they are. So it should be a good one. All right, so these are all the books that I got in my book outlet order. And then these are all of the books that I got from everywhere else. Tell me what you all think and what you think I'll be reading soon. And out of all of these, which one would you be the most inclined to read? Tell me down in the comments below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I am at Bohan and Babbles on both. And definitely like, comment, and subscribe on this video because I would love to talk to you all. I definitely answer back. It may not be fast, but I do answer back. I guess I'll see you all next time, and I've got a lot of books to put away. See ya.